This is the San Marcos River. It's crystal clear, spring-fed, and runs straight through the heart of Texas. And as you make your way upstream, past the paddleboarders, the inner tubers, and even through a college campus, you'll arrive at its source. And right over the edge of this dam is where the water emerges from underground and begins its 260-mile-long journey from here to the Gulf of Mexico. And it's known as Spring Lake. One of the things that makes Spring Lake so special is its diversity of wildlife. Some of these creatures are large, and some of these creatures are tiny. And some are even endemic, meaning this is the only place in the world where you can see them. However, today, we're going to visit a creature that is more prehistoric in nature, but more on him in a second. Most visitors can witness all of this by looking down through the bottom of a glass-bottom boat. We, on the other hand, will be diving, so we'll be looking up. Our dive is going to start in the southern entrance of the lake called Sycamore Point. We're going to make our way across and go to an old dock structure that is no longer in use. This is the home to a very large, very well known, and sometimes misunderstood snapping turtle named Snaggle. I've visited him many times, so let's go meet him. Today I'll be diving with Jacob. He has quite a few very decent photographs inside of caves in Florida and other places that he's traveled to. If you're interested in checking this out, I'll list his Instagram in the description below. On average, you'll spend most of your time here at a depth of about 15 feet. This section of the lake that we're dropping into now is called Deep Pool. It's the deepest part of the lake and has a depth of about 25 feet or so, making this whole system relatively shallow. Deep Pool is lined with a number of vents that are actually quite powerful. Coming out of this vent in particular, you can feel a large amount of water just forcing you back. You can see that the spring water is almost erupting out of these vents. But you'll also notice that it's bubbling through the bottom of the sand bed as well. Even during times of extreme drought, these spring vents have been flowing consistently for thousands of years. And as long as there's been water, there's been people. What you're looking at in front of you is an underwater archaeological site. It's no longer in use, but there have been artifacts that have found here, including the Clovis Point, that are known to be almost 13,000 years old. You can see that the dig site has been divided into a grid by this rebar, and a lot of the original equipment has been left behind as well. But let's continue our journey to the other side of the lake. It's time to pay a visit to our old friend. As we make our way across this area known as Kettleman Spring, the vegetation starts to become a little bit more dense, and you can tell we're getting closer to the old dock. And now we're here. The only thing is, we need to figure out if Snaggle's home. So we pull out our flashlights, go underneath the edge, and search each corner. As reliable as always, there he is. I've been visiting Snaggle for years now, and if you're a volunteer at Spring Lake, I encourage you to do the same, but I do want to remind you to keep your distance. Not only does he pack a nasty bite, but you're in his living room, so he deserves your respect. Spring Lake is one of my favorite places to shoot, so if you're interested in purchasing prints from this amazing location, visit my website at scottbauerphotography.art. And of course, I'll see you on the next dive. Thanks for watching.